So today I want to discuss on a very important aspect by giving you a guide to investing or to guide your choice in investing in different blockchain projects. Okay. Now, the first question you should have in the back of your mind is, what are the key aspects of layer 1 and layer 2 blockchain projects we should analyze before deciding on whether or not to invest in them? Okay, so based on that, let's look at the various blockchain projects we have available. We have what we call the layer 1 blockchain projects and the layer 2 blockchain projects. Okay, so what's different between the layer 1 blockchain projects and layer 2 blockchain projects? Now, layer 1 is a term to describe projects that have built their own blockchain, is built out a blockchain based foundation and an ecosystem that allows developers to build software or applications on top of them. An example of such layer 1 platforms are like the Ethereum, because the Ethereum it's a blockchain that was designed to handle smart contracts. Okay, and we have smart contracts like Uniswap on it. Uniswap is a decentralized exchange. We have Inya-Agha. It's a metaverse project with a play to earn team around it. It's also on the ERC network. We also have what we call the OpenSea. OpenSea is the most robust and vibrant NFT marketplace out there in the crypto space today. And we also have Aave. Aave is a network. Aave actually hosts a lot of DeFi projects where you can lend, borrow, okay, and stake for money. And it's a very robust one as well. It's also on the ERC network. That's Ethereum. And then we also have layer 1 projects such as Cardano, Tron, Avalanche, Algorand, Elrond. These are all numerous layer 1 projects. Okay, so that's it. Now let's now define layer 2 projects. Now, layer 2 is a term to describe projects that are built on top of layer 1 blockchains like Ethereum, that are designed to decrease transaction costs like gas fees and help layer 1 blockchain ecosystems to scale. Okay, you know, Ethereum has a challenge. One of the Ethereum's basic challenges, not only the high gas fees it has. The challenge is that Ethereum was designed to be able to handle only roughly about 7 transactions per second, which is too slow considering the volume of transactions going on online now and the demand associated with it. And so we have other layer 2s trying to help out by building out on layer 1 and improving their capacities. So blockchains that like Ethereum that are designed for transaction costs like gas fees that are high, and they help layer 1 blockchain ecosystem scale as well as develop an overall faster, more efficient application for less costs. That's the beauty of it. So an example of such is like you know, the Polygonmatic, that network, Polygonmatic. It's supposed to better on deficiency in the Ethereum blockchain by increasing transaction speed as well as reducing transaction costs. So example of an Ethereum-based layer 2 platform developers can choose to build on include, I talked about Polygon already. We also have Arbitrum and we have Optimism. These are all layer 2 projects that are helping to correct some challenges experienced by the layer 1 home-based blockchain platform. So layer 2 platforms can be considered as secondary networks built on a base main network. Okay, so layer 1, the main base network and what it does. Layer 2 is the infrastructure built on the layer 1. All right, so the best way to evaluate them as potential investment opportunities, remember, for every coin you're investing in, it's going to be in one of these our areas of investments. That means either as a layer 1 or a layer 2. And there must be a guide to guide you on how to successfully invest in these various layers of projects. Okay, now let's start with best way to evaluate them as potential investment opportunities. Okay, number one, do not evaluate them just like stocks in companies, because company stocks just do one thing. The company stocks just appreciate when whatever the company is doing appreciates. Okay, stocks just serve as stocks. They just serve as a means of bringing in value, bringing in funds or liquidity into a project. That's all stocks do. But cryptocurrency projects are much more than equities in companies. Remember, a coin can serve as a currency token. You bought into an equity in that company, you got a crypto project. It can serve as a currency token. That means it can also serve as a store of value, because as the project expands, the value of the coin increases, and so that same equity you bought in the company at a particular price increases in value as the project expands. That same cryptocurrency can also serve as a utility token. That means serve as a gas fee for, on the blockchain is on, like the way Ethereum is can serve as gas fee as well. Tron serves as gas fee on the Tron tokens. Binance Smart Chain serves as gas fee as well on the BEP20 protocol chain. Okay, so all this put together makes you understand that you should view cryptocurrencies you invest in as an ecosystem, similar to different countries and their economies. All right, example, you have Ethereum, you have Cardano, you have Solana. So just see them like you having, let's say, Russia, let's say Nigeria, let's say another country like, say, United States. So you are comparing different economies. So every crypto has its own economy based on its own ecosystem. Now, one thing you need to understand is this: when you invest in crypto projects, independent of if it's a layer 1 or layer 2 project, the fact is this: what people don't understand is that the fastest, the most efficient, the most green, what we mean by most green is like, we're talking about carbon imprints, we're talking about clean energy or green, going green. The world wants to de-emphasize on the use of fossil fuels or burning fossil that produce a lot of carbon that damages the ozone layer. So they are saying that they want projects to go green so we can preserve the universe, reduce the carbon emissions, as well as reduce the global warming or global heating. So no matter how green a crypto project is, no matter how it is the most superior technology of its time, no matter how the project is the most decentralized, remember the essence of Web3 is decentralization. So no matter how the most decentralized it is, even if it's the best all-round blockchain platform, from all logical and technological standpoints, it does not necessarily mean that that project is the most valuable. All these things are streamlined now, independent of all these factors. It will not make that project the most valuable. It will not make that project increase in price more than others. Now, the value of each platform will be based on two main variables. These are things you need to consider when doing your investments in cryptocurrency space. The first one is the size and productivity or output of the software applications built on it. So if you want to invest in the layer 1, let us say Ethereum for example, you want to invest in another layer 1, let's say Solana, what should guide your decision is, what is the size of what is built on it? How many applications are built on it? What is the productivity of those applications? This will determine how high the coin level will rise. For example, look at Tron, which is the TRC20 network. Many applications built out on Tron have more value in their token than even the Tron currency itself, which is the Tron. Okay? Tron has not been able to break the jinx of leaving the cent. It's still in cents. It has never left that cent range all the while. And then compare Tron to Solana. Solana came much later. Tron came much earlier. Solana came late to the space. And Solana also has a lot of applications built on it. But watch how Solana skyrocketed all the way to $230. You see now? So you have to check that, because the projects built out on Solana, the size and productivity is way more than that of the Tron, and that's why this happened. Now, the second thing to consider is the amount of users and growth of new users, and the activities of those new users and how loyal they are to the ecosystem or community. That's another very important aspect. That means, are the users die-hard fans? Are they stuck on the project? They so believe in the project that they are doing everything possible to make sure the project is a success. So if you have dedicated users to a project, that's the more successful that project is going to be. Okay? So this can also be compared to a country's GDP. GDP just means gross domestic product. And a country's gross domestic product is dependent on the value of the total goods and services produced by that country and what it brings in as cash to the table. So a summation of total goods, total services. So in the crypto space as well, crypto coins are economies. You need to look at what goods, based on the use case, what services do they offer? How important are those goods and services or those products to humanity? Because that's what's going to drive the demand. And inherently, that's what's going to fuel loyalty to the project and as well increase the value of the project in a specific period of time. Now, the layer 1 and layer 2 projects that become winners in this space will be the ones that successfully create and grow an economy on their blockchain network. So you want to be looking at layer 1's projects or layer 2 projects and what they are doing as a community in terms of their economy. And where can you see this? You check out their Reddit, check them out on Reddit, check their community on Twitter, check their community on Telegram, check their community on Discord. These are all the social media outlets you can use to judge what the community of that project, what they are up to, what they are doing, their level of loyalty, their level of contributions, their activities, and all this add up to the economy of that project on the blockchain. Now, the ones that cultivate the greatest amount of innovation that secures and maintains traction on their platforms are the ones that will do very well. Remember, economics is all about the laws of demand and supply. What will fuel demand for a token or for a project? It's the goods and services they provide. The more human beings who those goods and services solves their problem, the higher the demand. And the more it's going to cultivate and secure the traction on that platform. Now, there are 4 variables that are key to a thriving economic ecosystem. I told you, for example, to look at crypto projects as country economies. Okay? For example, why do Nigerians want to leave Nigeria to America? Why is there that clamor to travel abroad anywhere but Nigeria? Even if it means just no matter what the other country is, just leave these shores. Because we believe that the economies of those countries are thriving better than our own economy. And that's why there's a massive brain drain. So the natural instinct of humanity is to move towards greener pastures or move towards a thriving economy. Because once an economy is thriving, independently it will still trickle down to the common masses or the common man on the streets. If the economy is bad, it affects everybody as well. So what will make a cryptocurrency project be a thriving economy? Okay, so let's look at it. Number 1 is the value creation efficiency of that crypto project or ecosystem. Hope you're writing this down. When you come to my classes, you have to come to writing materials. Because when I do my research, I also jot, put bullet points, understand. And so when I come and I'm explaining to you as well, you also need to jot. You don't need to write long sentences, just some bullet points so you can remind yourself. Because You are in the crypto space to make money. But not just to make money. To create sustainable wealth. That's the essence. Okay? And that's why I tell you that cryptocurrency investment is not a sprint, it's a marathon. That means it should become a way of life. You hear about Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha. What makes him an astute investor is that all the laws he takes into consideration before he invests in a project, they are imprinted in his head and in his heart. So on the move, when he sees any project, he can assess, is it worth it, is it not worth it? He can begin to check the potentials of each investment he makes. And is able to diversify his investment across many portfolios. Okay? So you, as a crypto enthusiast, as a crypto value investor, not just a daily trader. I told you the money in crypto is not in daily trading. It's in long-term positions. That's where the billions are made. So how do you determine which long-term position to take that will give you a 10x or give you a 100x on your coin investment or even give you 1,000x on your investment? How do you determine that? That's what I'm teaching you now. So in the broad sense, all cryptocurrency projects is either layer 1 or layer 2. So have it in mind. When investing, you should know the cryptocurrency you're investing in. Is it a layer 1? Is it a layer 2? If it's a layer 1, then consider what and what on the layer 1. What is it providing? If it's a layer 2, then you have to consider both the layer 1 and the layer 2 because the project can be a wonderful project on layer 2. But if there's a challenge on the layer 1, which is carrying that project, there's a challenge on the project overall. For example, there was a time Solana was hacked. Solana is a layer 1, right? It was hacked. That was sometime in October, November. In reality, they were quick to resolve that challenge immediately. And I was surprised that hack didn't even affect the value of their coin. I thought the coin is going to dip in that period. Because the speed at which the technological team was able to come in immediately and block whoever was causing the challenge, it now didn't spill on to affect other layer 2 projects being built out on Solana. So if you're an investor and you considered only the layer 2 without looking at the layer 1 carrying the layer 2, forgetting that any challenge on the layer 1 will affect your investment in layer 2. Are you understanding how these things come in hand? So when people tell me they bought a crypto coin, it didn't do well, it tanked, this happened, that happened, I begin to ask them, okay, what guided your decision to invest on it? Okay, what happened to that investment? They can't answer because they just bought on hearsay. And you should be able to assess each investment you do. If one goes wrong, find out why is it going wrong? Why did it go wrong? Was it a question of a wrong choice by you? Or was it a question of a failure in the team behind the layer 2? Or was it a question of a failure in the host blockchain or native blockchain layer 1? Or was it a failure in the community activities and strength? They were boosted based on the sentiments. Or was it a question of the use case, the fundamentals? Was it a question of the competitive, another competitive project that came into the space with a better offer? You need to know what went wrong if something went wrong. And that helps you mitigate against what has gone wrong and further guides you into your next investment in the crypto space. So it's a continuum. It's not a one-time thing. So I'm teaching you now to be astute crypto investor. So these are the key elements that if you know about them, when you talk about crypto, you are talking from an informed point of view. So we talk about the value creation efficiency. Ultimately, value must return to its source. That means what brings in finance, each time you create value, it exchanges for its equivalent in finance. That's one of the laws of finance. So the efficiency in value creation in any project is also directly proportional to how much increase the coin will get in its value. In other words, to learn blockchain technology and become a developer in a space, you need to understand that particular space. How easy is it for blockchain developers to come in there and build out applications? Remember, the blockchain has its own language, Solidity, and different blockchain applications have different language they have put in place to create platforms on their layers. Okay, so you have to check out. So if you want to become a blockchain developer, in the crypto space. As I speak to you, remember in my introductory classes, I was telling you guys that we are lacking in blockchain developers. You see, the way the world is clamoring for blockchain developers, if you are good in developing apps on blockchain, the kind of money that will come to you. And like I said, all the current blockchain developers are all out there in the Western world. Only very few are in Nigeria. That means not Nigerians outside Nigeria. I mean, programmers of African descent based in Africa, living in Africa, programming here. There are very few. And then what next again? The content being produced on the blockchain are still Western content. Nobody's yet doing African content. Nobody's doing Nigerian content. That's to show you the extent to which blockchain development is going to go to. And so if you want to begin to learn blockchain programming, you can reach out to me and I can link you up to another academy, not mine, but these guys are good in teaching. You can start your step-by-step process to begin the process of learning how to program on the blockchain space. Like I told you about NFT creations. I told you about AI development. I told you about content creation in various forms. You need to learn how it affects your own industry and how you can bring in what you do as value into the crypto space. Okay? And begin to create your market now. It is very, very early. You become one of the leading lights in that field. That's the beauty of it. Okay? And so there's a serious shortage in blockchain technology development, like I said, and that's what I'm talking about.